So I've been tinkering with my bicycle a little bit and resolving the issues from the previous video. Well, I realized while editing the previous video that I'd forgotten to put back a washer that was on this side. That's why I was too far over and rubbing against this piece of metal I added. So I've decided to add 2 washers, and now it has plenty of space before hitting that. So I'm pretty happy about that. Then I found out that that ball bearing that I lost was wedged somewhere in here, because whenever I accidentally dropped it, it fell out, and so when I opened it up, there it was. And since I already have this whole thing down here open, I went ahead and loosened it up. So thank you very much for the input that I asked for on how tight that should be, because I didn't want it to be too loose, but oh well. But yeah, so that's working fine. The bike is working a lot better than it was last time. Still has a squeaking sound, but that's probably just the pedals. I'll figure that out. Now, I think it's time to electrify it. So it's pretty much all like a really nice bicycle, from a $5 piece of junk to actually usable. So, I have this 48 volt 1000 watt hub motor that I can use. I should have to grind away a little bit if it's the same exact width as my other hub motor, because this is actually going to be like my 3rd hub motor that I've used. They're just the cheapest ones you can get on eBay, like $180, and they seem to last a long time, so nothing fancy. One of the ones I had actually lasted like 5,000 miles. The first kit that I got had like a greenish blue one, then the next one I think had a yellowish one. And this is yellow and red. That's pretty cool, I like that. I always find the bolts on these really interesting because they're actually like really big bolts, but then they cut them on the sides, so they're actually narrow enough in one direction to fit on most front forks. Although my bike was some weird funky one that was made by some small company back in the 70s, so it didn't really conform to too much. Like the front axles are really tiny on this one. But I redesigned the whole front fork anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Whenever I redesigned it, of course, it's like, what, episode 2 of this series? I added this, and I also made it double thickness and added on this side. So it's just a really chunky fork, and so I don't have to worry about it breaking too much. And I also made sure that it didn't get too big for it. So what I'm probably going to have to do is file away at it just to make it fit in there. Which I wanted to do that because I like the idea of having a very snug fit, and maybe even having to tap the wheel in there. So yeah, it should be actually pretty easy to hook this up. So it looks like these holes that I drilled can actually be used to mount the fender bar thingamabobs. So that's pretty cool. Oh, and I almost forgot, these electric bicycle kits here recently have been coming without any tape on the inside. So the rough holes on the rim just cut up your inner tube. So we have the motor hooked up to the motor controller, and I have my e-bike battery. Let's plug it in and see if it works. Lights up, that's good. Yes, it does! Pretty sure that this black frame will make the black cabling and black zip ties look a lot nicer, because all the other bikes I've had are like a purpley or blue color, and so this entire thing stands out. You want to be careful with this area because you want to give plenty of slack for it to turn, so I think like that would be good. Actually, you know what? I think it'd be probably better to have it come up here. It's getting there, but the next thing to do is to tackle the accelerator, which can be pretty difficult, especially with this one because I want to save this handle grip. So let's try a few ways to get it off. So this is 11 degrees Celsius. (63 degrees Celsius). Oh, there we go. That was perfect. I was actually afraid this was going to give us a lot of issues, but that was actually really easy. And yes, I have heard that compressed air can work really great, but I think this worked out really well. This has hardened up a good deal. But now I know I can just pour some water on it. Oh, no problem at all. So I would consider that pretty much done for now. Now I don't have a place to put the battery. I still have to mount my battery box, but I'm able to put my battery in my backpack, so that'll work for now. And I'm using this bread bag as a nice tool bag, so I want all the tools I need. I'm going to go for a quick little ride. Actually, me and my mom are going to go for a little ride. She's probably going to drive around in her car, but kind of because it's fun to go for a ride right near the sunset, and to test this out. In case there's an issue, my mother can be around to help me. It's kind of interesting to have such an angled handlebar. I like it. This hub motor sounds a lot different than previous ones I've had. Okay, so we're finally out of town now, and it's doing really great. Unfortunately, it seems like the wires on my battery are a bit too thin, so they're being a bit resistive. This thing is handling wonderfully, though. I'm really happy with it. The front wheel seems to have a little bit of a wobble in it, so I'll need to fix that. That'll probably either be just the wheel is a bit lumpy or whatever. I can fix it, though. That's my mom behind me. Let's see how fast we can really go. This is a bit too fast for my taste. I am really happy with this. This is amazing. It's working so well. The front tire is a bit bumpy, so I'm probably gonna get matching tires for these, because the tires that come with these motor kits are always really crappy. They're bigger on one side than on the other, so they kind of make you bounce. Well, I need to get some headlights, and I already have all the parts for that, so that'll be coming. I need to add a battery box. I already have that. Just need to bolt that on. And I also need to rewire the battery a little bit, just add thicker terminals. That's pretty much it. It's just gonna be a bunch of little incremental upgrades. Can't wait to see where this goes. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for watching. See ya!